Lethal Company, a game where everyone but your friends have been playing. Set in the distant universe on being the opposite of an Amazon delivery driver. You play as porch pirates employed by the company that pays you pennies on the dollar. To stage your heist, job, pick a house, or should I say a moon that has more space travel than Starfield. Land your whip outside a strange facility, steal high-value items while avoiding the residents. Return to your ship with bountiful treasures, only to find out you didn't meet the company's quota. Get fired, except you didn't even make it into the facility, as you got overzealous wanting to be an overachiever for the company. You jumped out of the ship before it could even land, breaking your ankles and then quickly falling victim to quicksand, meeting a bitter end. All the while, the ship is dropping a beat on top of your body. You're not going to get Employee of the Month that way. But in all reality, you didn't even make it off the ship, because as you're landing your ship, a swarm of lightning bees are deciding to rob you. If you dodge the bees, don't worry, real lightning is just as bad. Where your final words are,
what's that noise?
Are you ready to be employed in a highly competitive industry working way below minimum wage? Where you hear your coworkers scream with all the benefits that they're receiving? Don't worry, you'll get yours soon enough. The company promotes within. Most of your coworkers are literal children.
Are you okay with us being kids?
So it's easier to persuade them to do things that you normally wouldn't do. Where you die would be the least of your worries, as you lost all your hard work plus a portion of your paycheck. But at least it's better than working retail. Lethal Company is built around you using in-game voice chat. Rather than using Discord and hearing your friends die, instead you'll hear a muffled scream followed by silence. Did they escape? Did they outrun whatever made them screech in horror? Then the dread starts to set in, because we both know the answer to that. Starting the game, you're given a couple of options. Either host a lobby for you and your friends, or join a random group to die with. Finding a random server to play on can be quite exciting, as the name of them goes from being odd all the way to, upon loading, you agree with the company's speech and a service manual with your job description, and useful information regarding how you're going to be sacrificed for the greater of the company. But we aren't here to read, so I recommend skipping that and getting first-hand experience out in the field. All you got to know is that you got a quota to reach. Make your way into an unknown building to find valuable loot that will please the company, like a whole-ass car engine, and making your way back to the ship thinking the hard part is over, to find out that the ground also doesn't like you. Whatever loot you have on board is all gone and you lose everything. Don't worry, you get another chance at being a valued employee. If you happen to meet the local wildlife, the company ship will leave you to your new job title, a chew toy. Well, it's my last day to fill the quota and I have no money in the bank. Making my way through a near zero visibility steam room, and you know what's worse than a steam room? A steam room with landmines. Can you play this game solo? No. Well, you can, but should you? This game is definitely meant to be played with friends or at least a group. You can die to anything in, well, everything. But that didn't stop me from going in solo more times than not. Like if you're me, you don't have friends or ones that want to play.
Hey, you guys want to play Lethal Company?
Shut the fuck up! I tried joining lobbies, but it never worked out. And when magically I got into one, it was either kids or people using no mics. When I hosted my own, waiting for people to join, this is probably the worst part of the game. For people to join without mods, you have to wait in the ship before you start the game. So when you get someone or a couple of people, they won't wait long for other people to join up. And I have came across some of the most profound trolls. If you leave your ship to these trolls to play the game, they'll start back up the ship, leaving you to die and disconnect from the lobby. Yeah, this is why you need friends. I have a coworker who finds out the hard way that trees are not very friendly. If you didn't have the pleasure of watching them get turned to mulch, then I recommend turning to the ship monitor and look to see if your coworkers are moving. If they aren't, well, they are probably dead. So it's safe to leave and not feel bad for starting up the ship and leaving them behind. If you manage to get some scrap and meet the quota, this is good news. That means you get to live a little longer than anticipated. Head back to the company and turn in your scrap and get rewarded with money to buy useful items, like flashlights and a radio to never miss a moment of your coworkers passing. On the flip side of meeting the quota, it goes up, meaning you have to work even harder. Wait a minute, these calculations don't add up. I'm missing 5 scrap. Well, now is a good time to teach you about murder. Step 1, stop sign. Step 2, swinging at your coworker. Pick up their corpses and sell to the company to meet quota. Well, Lando, could you just have sold that item you committed murder with instead of, committing murder? Well, yes, but, moving on. If you're too afraid to enter the spook building, no problem. A great lucrative way to please the company is by stealing someone's house. Yoink that shit and run back to your ship as fast as possible. Make sure not to miss the If you die, you can use the vote function to tell the ship to fuck off and leave whoever's left behind to tough it out. Usually with your 4 members, 3 of them will go ahead into the danger, while the 4th one will sit in the ship and watch your coworkers get mauled by red dots.
It's behind you.
Also, you can buy a teleporter to meet your maker faster. Here we got a door with near activity detected. My coworkers on the other side. Let's see how they are doing. They're probably fine. A good tip is leave the loot you collect outside the main entrance so the cute little crickets don't take it. Head back in and try to find some more. You know what? It's getting late, and we need to bring this back to the company. So far as I know, there are 2 areas you can explore. Both are equally terrifying. Speaking of terrifying, the monsters. There are a few in this game that are wanting to get their hands on you. Like this thing, another thing, and oh god, this thing. Some aren't very good at getting you, while some are very good at their job. Don't worry, close the door and they can't open them. but I have died more times to the damn link than I care to admit, being stuck on the ship on the last day having no choice getting the loot, while a dog and a little girl are outside playing fetch. The biggest change I would like to see is the way to join others and randoms joining you. I'm excited to see where the devs take this game, and we'll play it at a later time, and we'll get out there and make that quota. Oh, and my final tip, don't hit that bell too many times.